What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm a little riled up. I just filmed a get ready with me on this look, and I have, like, not joking you, 13 minutes before I have to leave because I'm about to go get my nails done. They look a little crazy. I feel like you can't tell on camera, but they look ratchet, you guys. Like, look at this. Do you see that? I like ripped off my nails, like my gel extensions, and kind of did some damage. But I'm gonna try to get through this video. I actually tried to film it already once, and I like did not like how it turned out at all. So we're just gonna do a retry. I filmed it a couple days ago, but I was like, you know what? Oh, is that? Oops. The camera's kind of like off of the background a little bit. Okay, there we go. Anyways, yeah, I filmed it a couple days ago, and I don't know, I just was having a weird day that day. And I'm telling you, Mercury in retrograde, I don't know. But anyways, I thought, you know what? I like my makeup today. I have 13 minutes. Let me just try to film another video. So this video, the get ready with me, is gonna be up next time, like my next video. So if you wanna see how I created this look, it's gonna be in my next video. And I'm not even trying to hide it. Like, I didn't change my shirt. I didn't change my hair. I didn't do anything different to my makeup. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I literally just filmed a separate video. But anyways, this video is all about my favorite foundations, ride or die, all the best foundations in my opinion. Obviously, everybody has a different skin type, but for me, these foundations are like my go-tos depending on what I'm looking for. So I have a really good range in here. Like, I have light coverage, natural coverage, everyday stuff for super hydrating foundations, stuff for super mattified, like when you want a matte look. Full coverage, light coverage. I have a little bit of everything. So I put together like what I feel is kind of like my foundation vault of my go-tos. So I think I might start out with the more hydrating ones because you guys might know I've been dealing with very, very, very dry skin for like the last, I don't know, couple months to a year. So two of my favorite hydrating foundations. Boom. These are ones that I feel like you might not hear me talk about a lot because, you know, we're always trying new makeup and getting ready for events and getting stuff done off camera. But I found this foundation. This is the BareMinerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick back in the summer. I believe that's when it released. A lot of these are releases that came out this year. Some of them, they're just like my true ride or dies, are stuff that I've used for years, but I did want to include, you know, like the stuff that was really new on the market. So yeah, I think this came out earlier this year. I discovered it. It's a stick foundation. I love a good stick foundation. I have one that I use for contouring, and then one that I use for my actual foundation shade. So my foundation shade is Desert 6.5, and then for contour, I use Chestnut 9. The reason I love this foundation stick, it is so smooth when you feel it on your skin. Like, no joke, if you live near a Sephora or anywhere they sell this, go just feel it on the back of your hand, and it feels almost like cooling to the skin. Like, it's smoothing, it's cooling, very, 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 very hydrating. Like, I almost feel like you can feel the water or like the moisture on your skin. And when you blend it out, it just creates a really nice base. It has really good coverage too for a hydrating foundation in my opinion. And I love stick foundations because I just feel like they're like super easy to just like boom, 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 blend out really quick and you're good to go. And if you have dry skin, like, just try this out. Believe me, it's gonna change your life. I've never felt a stick foundation that's quite like this, that's like so moisturizing. Like, it almost feels like, you know, those stick serums that have like that moisture in it? That's what this feels like. It's a bomb formula. So my next one is from Fenty Beauty. It's their Pro Filt'r Hydrating Longwear Foundation. So fire, okay? This is obviously more of a liquid than the last one, but it is so good for hydrating. I said that's so weird. It's so good for hydrating the skin though. You can see it has almost, I wouldn't say a super liquidy runny formula, but it definitely is not thick. Super lightweight. When you blend it in, it like blends out so well into the skin, dude. Like, no joke. This feels like a tinted moisturizer, but it gives the coverage of a foundation. So I think this is a really great one. If you're gonna be wearing your foundation for a long time, you don't want to feel that kind of like cakiness by the end of the day. If you do have dry skin, this one's very hydrating, has a lot of moisturizing ingredients in it. And I just feel like because it is so lightweight, you can't feel it, and it sits really nice on the skin throughout the day. This one is, I will admit, a little newer to me than the rest of them. Again, it was released this year, but I didn't try it out until a little more recent. But when you know what I mean? Like, they say that for everything, but when you know, and I really do feel like even the first time I used this, I just felt good. Like, I mean, that's what we really want in a foundation, right? You want to feel confident, you want to feel good, you don't want to feel like you have cake face, you want it to feel lightweight and comfortable on the skin, and that's exactly what it had. The best, like, way that I can describe it is it feels like a tinted moisturizer, but it wears like a medium to full coverage foundation because it is buildable. So another really good one for dry skin, my dry skin babies out there, definitely check that one out because those are my top 2 picks for like people with drier skin. So I have a couple that I would recommend as like my favorite base foundations, like the stuff that you guys want to use for just getting that like super like flawless finish, stuff that you can really count on no matter what. That's what like these next few foundations are for me, and these are ones that like I have used for a really long time, and that says a lot because again, we're always trying new makeup in this industry as like a beauty YouTuber or influencer or whatever you want to call it. You're always trying new makeup. So if you have things that you actually repurchase and actually go through bottles and bottles of, like, that says a lot. So I can say that for like the next 3 foundations that I'm going to mention. And I know that's kind of a lot, but I have my reasons. First off, NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This has been a go-to for me for like, I don't even know, ever since it came out, which I think it came out like at least a year ago, if not more than a year ago. But it is just, oh, I could not live without this foundation. I repurchase it. Again, that says a lot. I go through bottles and bottles and bottles of this at a time. The shades that I normally like kind of rotate between are Barcelona and Syracuse. They are the shade match, you guys. Depending on what time of year it is, obviously, but the undertones of both of these shades, and sometimes I mix them, sometimes I use one, sometimes I use the other. The undertone is so spot on with my skin tone. I can't get over it. It's probably one of the best like matches that I've ever found, but the actual formula is like the perfect balance between glowy and matte. It's somewhere in the middle. It's like a satin, radiant, but not too oily, but not too matte, but full coverage sort of foundation. Like, it just makes your skin look like a doll's skin when you put it on. I usually apply this one like with a foundation brush and then blend it in with a blender. And when you really pounce it into the skin, it just looks so flawless. Like, just, it's crazy how good this one looks. And a lot of you may know this, but I have on accident, and I don't recommend this, but I have fallen asleep with this on and woken up the next day and it still looks flawless. So I'm kind of like, okay, girl. Okay, we see you. We see you, NARS. So what I can say as far as like my roundup of this particular foundation, the shade match is amazing for me, and they have a ton of shades as well. They also, when we were in Bora Bora last year, they actually extended the shade range, I believe, as well. But anyways, so shade range, bomb for me. Longwear, like wear time, insane amount of wear time, and I love the coverage. Definitely a full coverage buildable foundation. I also love the actual like finish of it. It is somewhere in between. It's like somewhere in between glowy and matte. It's like a satiny skin-like. It looks like skin. It's not cakey. Very lightweight. That's one thing that I hate in a foundation, is like when it feels heavy. So just know that none of my recommendations are actually gonna feel heavy on the skin, because that's like one of my worst fears when it comes to foundation. And this one is just amazing. I I recommend this to all my friends and family too. So you guys are in that sector. The next one is MAC Studio Fix Fluid. Again, something that I've been using for years and years and years and continue to restock. This one I would say is even more, a little bit more on the matte side, a little bit more coverage, like armor for your face. Whenever I put this on, I legit feel like my skin just looks like a doll's face. Even yesterday, I was wearing this. I put it on at 10 a.m., didn't get home till midnight. And I looked in the mirror and I was kind of like, you know what? It really, like, my foundation doesn't really look that bad. You know, for wearing it for over 12 hours, I think that's like very impressive. That it was still on. It still looked very flawless. I was at an event like super late last night and I just feel like it stood the test of time. Full coverage, full long wear time, and just again, something that I kind of like always have around, always have in my kit. My next one, these are my holy trinity. Like I wanna call these three foundations my holy trinity because this is kind of like the stuff that I legitimately can't live without, that I always restock. So this one is from Makeup Forever. It's the Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. This one to me is more on the glowy side. So in this range, I would say the most glowy over here, the like medium satiny skin-like finish, and then a little bit more matte over here. I would say this one is medium to full. It looks like full on skin, like full on flawless skin. This one is amazing in photos. It's obviously the Ultra HD line, which Makeup Forever in general, I feel like is really good in photos. Like they have something in the formulas that just makes them very photographable. You guys know what I mean. But I would highly recommend this if you are going anywhere where you are gonna be photographed, events, school, like dances, school photos, work stuff, anything like that where you're gonna be taking photos. I love this foundation. It also does not have SPF in it, so it doesn't cause flashback at all. And I just feel like it sits on the skin. It's almost like, I wanna say like pliable. Like when you put it on, it a little bit like molds to your skin. I don't know, I love it. And this one pairs amazing with like full coverage concealers because this one I would say is a little bit more on the medium side for me personally. Again, everybody's different, everyone's skin is different, but that's just for me. So I love pairing this with like a super full coverage concealer and it looks so good. Okay, I know I'm talking really fast, but I honestly really have to leave for my nail appointment soon, so yeah. Anyways, moving on to my matte range of picks for you guys. And again, you know, not everything is gonna work out for every single person, so I would recommend testing them out at Sephora. They usually can give out you know, little samples and stuff. But this next one is actually a drugstore foundation. So this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation Stick. I wear the shade 265 Natural Tan. If you want like flawless matte skin, quick and easy, this is it. So what I love about it is that, I don't know why I smelled it because it doesn't smell like anything. This one does not dry me out at all. Some matte foundations can dry your skin out. This one does not. It's obviously a great price point as well. And it looks so, again, so good with a full coverage like concealer. This I would say is like medium coverage and you can build it up. Again, super quick and easy. You literally just go like this and blend it in. But I just think it looks so good. Actually, their concealer, the Conceal and Perfect concealer, is fire. So if you're looking for like a combo, like a foundation and concealer combo, I would highly recommend this for matte skin. Matte, nice coverage. I promise I'm gonna get to the like lighter coverage for all my light coverage girls and guys out there very soon, but I'm usually full coverage. Like I love a good full coverage moment, so a lot of mine are full coverage foundations. But this one particularly, speaking of full coverage, this one is the most full coverage foundation I have ever tried in my life. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it through the year because I was quite obsessed with it for some time, and I still am. I feel like this is just such a unique formula because well, let me tell you what it is. It's the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. This formula, guys, no joke. the most full coverage formula I have ever tried in my life while still being super lightweight. I don't know how they did it with the formula because it's so good. Very, 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 very long wearing. The whole summer when I was in Europe, I mean, not the whole summer, but for the month that I was in Europe this summer, this is pretty much all I wore because it was very hot there, really humid, really like sweaty and gross. And this stayed on my skin. Like all day, walking around like Rome, Italy, wherever I was, this would stay on my skin. And it was the only thing I was wearing because of that. And I just, the formula itself just impresses me like no other. I think, you know, I hope that they can also extend the shade range a little bit as well, but if you are able to find a shade that matches, I highly recommend trying it out. If you're looking for something that's very matte, very full coverage, very like extremely long wearing, even in humidity, sweat, etc. And what was my last thing? I was gonna say one more thing, but I kind of lost my train of thought because I started thinking of the like sweat-proof situation. Oh, lightweight. Yeah, that was my last thing. Super, super light. Sorry, my camera kind of died there. But I think what I was saying was kind of like, you know, those are the aspects of the foundation that I really love. And I'm trying to kind of, I know some things are overlapping, like, you know, there's multiple matte foundations, there's multiple full coverage foundations, but I'm trying to a little bit differentiate them by the like top things that I really feel about each of these foundations. And maybe I'll like list it even in the description box, like underneath the foundations that I've been talking about, because I know it can be a little confusing, but I also wanted to give you guys options because, you know, I know that not every single thing is gonna work for every single person. Okay, my next one is another drugstore item. So this is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation in M50, another really great matte foundation. This one is, to me, medium to full coverage, definitely buildable, but more on the medium side. And I would say this one, the like strong point of it is that it's matte while still being very flexible to the skin, which is something that I feel like you usually find in hydrating foundations, but to find that in a more mattified foundation is actually like a really unique thing. And this one, again, they have tons of shades, especially for an affordable price. I think they have, I wanna say, actually, I don't even remember the exact number, but maybe I'll list it down below again, or when you click the link, I'll link everything down below. And if you click the link, you can obviously see all of the shade ranges or all of the shades. But yeah, they have a good shade range. I like it because the concealer that they have was made to like correspond with the shades of this. So for example, this one's M50, so the concealer that like matches this is M500, which I think is really smart, especially for those of you who are just getting into makeup. I feel like it makes it a little bit less like intimidating. And I really like how this one wears, like definitely long wearing. It is pretty transfer resistant as well, but it's nice and matte while still being comfortable. Boom. Period. Okay, so next up, we're just gonna get to my like light coverage, natural, everyday girls and guys out there. So we have two different drugstore foundations. I know I'm holding up three, that's because I have two shades of this one. I'm gonna start off with the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. So this one says it's full coverage on it. I don't feel like it is for me personally, but that being said, I live, breathe, and die for this particular product, okay? So good. It does have SPF 50 in it, which I think is great. Obviously, if you're gonna be in the sun, I know it's like fall and winter now, but it's still really important to be wearing SPF if you're outside at all, just to protect your skin. And this one, what I love about it is so nice and creamy on the skin. And this can kind of go either way. If you do want to add a like medium to full coverage concealer, it looks pretty flawless, but it's almost like that model skin where like your actual skin is more on the light coverage side, but you like do it up with concealer. That's what this reminds me of. So you could kind of go either way. You can build it up with a like fuller coverage concealer and make it look super pretty and model-like and just kind of like I woke up like this, like I'm flawless, but like, you know, I don't know. Or you could just wear it on its own or with like a very light coverage concealer and make it just an everyday, like super simple 5-minute makeup look. So I love this foundation or this product for that reason. It's very versatile, super lightweight, super creamy, and just wears really nicely on the skin. Again, this one kind of like molds to the skin and it doesn't like pull or anything. Okay, and then this guy is my like lowest coverage situation, but it is so pretty on the skin. So this is the NYX Bare With Me Tinted Skin Veil. It is, I mean, again, I'm sure you guys have seen me use this and talk about it because it was all the rage this summer for me. It was pretty much all I was wearing for, again, like those everyday looks. This is like barely any coverage, like barely. Like light coverage, even take a step down from it. So if you're one of those people that doesn't want to wear makeup on an everyday basis, but maybe you want just a little bit of coverage, a little bit of skin tint just to like even out the skin, that's exactly what this does. It really, really does help to even everything out. Let me show you guys what the formula looks like. I feel like I haven't done that for, you know, every single one, but hopefully you guys kind of got an idea of what the formulas, you know, like how I was talking about them. But this one is like a cream formula, which is what surprised me when I first used it. I blended it out and that even looks like more full coverage than it looks on my skin, but it looks like skin. It looks so pretty. Like when you put it on, it just looks like you're radiant and glowing. Like, I don't even know. It's so pretty. Again, very minimal coverage, like almost nothing, next to nothing, I would say. So if you are not looking for coverage, or if you're looking for something to just throw on really quick, that's not gonna look like you're wearing anything, but like you kind of are, like just a little tint, you know? This is definitely what I would recommend. It's so, so good. But yeah, that is it for this foundation video. My top foundations of 2019. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I literally have to leave like immediately to get these nails taken care of, but I love you guys so much. Remember, you are beautiful inside and out, and stay tuned for my next video if you guys want to see how I got this look, all the products I used. It's a chit chat, get ready with me. So we kind of went deep. Okay, we kind of went deep in the chatting, but I hope you guys are excited. Make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss my next video, and I love you guys.